Hello, everybody. We are live tonight from Eternum, and I am here with Lamani. Lamani, say hello to the hall.
Hello. How is everybody?
We're doing great. You guys may remember this format. It's something that I do love, and I've got my new friend here to join me. And today we're going to be doing 3 topics on my channel, 3 topics on Lamani's channel. If you want the whole video, you got to go like and subscribe to both. Lamani, are you ready for the New World Report?
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
All right. I love it. All right. So the first topic we've got here is server exploits. Now, Lamani, I put out a video this week, and I just changed servers today, moving from Kashira Sagara to El Dorado. I am coming from a very toxic server where there was hyper competitiveness. There was exploits being used at every corner, changing siege times, mass reporting of shot callers, and the worst of worst, which is shell companies. Where do you come out? Am I overreacting here? Where do you come out on all these sort of issues that are plaguing endgame PvP right now? A game designed to be about this stuff, and it's not working. Where do you come out?
It's tough, right? Obviously, these are like the most intricate systems we have in the game, and I think they're super interesting. I think the war system is fantastic, but it's just the ways you can get around it. I think another one too, I don't know if you can do this or if you knew this, but you can rename your company to reset influence.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've seen that one.
Like there's stuff like that too. Yeah, I've seen that one. But as far as like, you know, everything goes, the shell companies, everything, I think something you will start to see is, I think to combat this, the devs are going to eventually put in like a 24-hour debuff where it's like, you cannot participate in a war if you've participated in a war.
I would love that. Love it.
I think it'd be interesting, but then it's like, all right, you know, now we just got 4 wars declared on us. We need 200 people. But then it promotes working collaboratively with other factions, right? And that's the point. You're all green or you're all purple, you're all yellow, work together. And I think that's one of the only ways that we're going to start to see that kicked out of the game. And
you've seen it, how it goes, right? Like you basically make a reputation for yourself on a server. And if you're deemed a good player, you get into every war that you want to get into. And it's the same people fighting the same people. And a lot of people argued with me and they say like, oh, Urs, you're ridiculous. You're just a bad player who just wants things handed to them. And I'm like, no. You could enjoy your stagnation, your dead server, if it's going to be the same 50 people versus the same 50 people every time. Yeah. It's just horrible, man. I don't understand that mindset.
My thing is, I think my biggest thing as far as exploits go, and we can take this into a plethora of different directions as far as like PvE and cheesing different bosses. Or my biggest one has always been people sitting up top in the Eternal Pools and camping the tentacle and killing it over and over and over again. This was like the old hard watermark system where people would do that for ring upgrades. I think stuff like that is just ridiculous. But it's like, I think the main overarching issue is that people are saying, New World's dying, or I don't like the game. And a lot of the things that are making people not like it are these kinds of exploits, like gold duping, cheesing things. And then people go ahead and do them, and then they complain that the game's not in a good state, which again, I'll argue, I think it is in a really solid state. But like, that's the issue is, the player base is shooting themselves in the foot, right? You want a good game, but you're the one that's kind of, you found this exploit, you're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest gripe with it. Is like, I know it's there, we're not going to do it.
Why would you deprive yourself of content? Like, I don't know. I've just never understood this. So
it's like, for me, I'm never going to exploit. That's not my thing. I think it's ridiculous. And I'll report people who exploit because I enjoy the game. I want it to be in a good state. And I don't want people ruining the experience for other people. Yep. That's what it comes down to.
And that's what I agree. And then every time I would bring up that point to these companies that were exploiting, it was like, oh, you're just bad at the game. You don't understand the rule set. It's within the rules right now. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Amazon designed this with not having 50 people run everything. Like, I'm pretty sure that was their core design mechanic. But again, I get called a Care Bear. I get called, bad at the game. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, how is this fun for anybody? Like,
and that's my thing is like, I don't know how it's fun for like a company doing it, right? Yeah. If you're, I've seen, when there was like ice storm stacking, right? If you took like different levels of it and just like stacking on top of points the entire map, right? Or the entire match. Yeah. Like, is that fun? Like, I don't know. Or my biggest one was when the hatchet was bugged, when you ran around the hatchet the entire time, then you one shot people. Yep. And then every single war that was being fought was like, you'd have the one guy who had been sitting on his hatchet all day and just walking up to people and one-shotting them. Yeah. Like, how's that fun? Yeah. Like, come on. Like, it just ruins the integrity of the game.
So my hope with this point is that they get some sort of immediate fix. I propose like a 24-hour cooldown, or attacking companies can declare on multiple cities at the same time. Like, I don't know. They just need to come up with something because this is the problem that is ruining my experience the most right now is the same people in wars.
It is a really, really tough fix because then just talk about shell companies. Well, you need to have that opportunity for other companies to still join the wars. So it's like how do you get rid of the shell company issue other than having like this 24-hour cooldown? But then you're going to say, there is I want to be able to fight multiple wars in that window, and
they have to have other in-game modes for people to participate in.
Yes.
Like there's people in my company that like your friend that just leveled up and they lack the experience. It's like how you get them experience when every war requires like money, gold. There's a time investment. There's a money investment. There's all sorts of things that go into a war, and it's like you have to send your best 50 out there. So how do people get experience, and how do people catch up? It's just
I have not fought in a war since I was on Kandahar, and I did a bunch of wars on Kandahar, but I haven't since I got to Eden. And I'm rusty, but I understand wars, how to shot call, do stuff like that. But I know just about every single person in my company, besides a handful, has never even touched a war before. They've never even seen it. They don't know the mechanics of it. And I know going into our first war, like we're gonna give it our all, but it's tough when you have people who've been fighting 4 wars a day.
Yep.
And they're used to it.
And so that's the game for them, is just the wars. So, all right, great conversation here about the exploits. I'm glad it's just, my servers, the ones I've been involved with. Again, I just moved to El Dorado today, so I'll update you guys as we keep doing New World Report on sort of the shenanigans going on over there. But so far, so good. A lot of good sports and a lot of good people joining the stream. So good stuff. Lamani, let's keep it moving here. Let's talk about the January update that is coming. So do we have a date on this? It's 25th or 26th?
Here's me, fortune telling the future. I think they moved, and we were talking about this on my channel, but I think they moved and they extended the winter event to the 25th because they're waiting. And that is going to be the date, like the 26th, that the January update actually comes out, because then they want to have something that replaces the diamond gypsum.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody's on that train right now, but I guess we'll see.
Okay.
But now that's what I'm thinking.
What are you? Okay, so you've obviously read the patch notes. You're big on mutators. You spend some time in the PTR. What are you doing to prepare for this? I know.
So
go ahead.
Let me think. What am I doing to prepare? Just like for mutators in general, or like whole January update?
The whole January update. Like what's a hot tip you could tell the hall here? Hot
tip. I think just in general, don't underestimate mutators. Right. A lot of people are gonna jump into the mutators and they're like, we're ready. We're going to do a +5. I jumped in on a +1 full 600 geared in a PTR with a random pug group, and it was a struggle, or a +2. Right. But it's like, you just need to work on your PvE game is what I'm going to suggest to people. There's going to be a lot of things you haven't seen before, as far as debuffs, as far as not stepping in things. Just like right now, if you're an expedition player, it is speed running Lazarus and Genesis. Like we're running comps where I'm not even healing. I'm throwing on a damage void gauntlet, and I'm healing like by putting essence rupture on the target. We're speed running, like running Gen in like 15 minutes, Laz in 15 minutes. And this is going to be content that nobody's used to. So I think if anything, practice your PvE mechanics, maybe let a boss go a little bit longer so that you remember the Medusa on Laz actually has bombs and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I think that's my biggest hot tip, is just be ready for it, right? If you're ready to jump in that kind of content, it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Now, what do you think about like scouring like the trading posts for like Angry Earth specific gear, or ancient specific gear? Is that
I think
worth?
It's going to be important. I think it's important. It's not going to be as important until you start getting into the higher ones, but I think it's going to be pretty beneficial for your team comp to start getting sets where you have some extra resistance, but then you have to think about, okay, I need these perks on it, and I think there's going to be a lot of value in crafting your sets and using those, those random things. And they're cheap now. They were, when this first, like the patch got announced, there were some of these items selling on my server for I was selling corrupted wards for like 300 gold a piece, and now they're down like 2 gold. Right.
Wow.
But I think people understand you're going to need to probably craft gear. But I think with the mutators coming in and doing some of those early ones, you get a lot of drops. And so what I will say is, take a look at all of your Angry Earth ward, all of your corrupted ward, and your ancient ones, because those are the 3 we're going to need to start off at least.
Yep.
So I would say don't just instantly salvage that gear, right? Keep an eye on it, and then you could make some solid money selling it on the trading post.
Okay.
So I will say keep your eye out for that.
That's good advice. And last thing on the January update I wanted to cover off on was I'm going to say this wrong. Umbrals? Is that
Umbral shards?
Yes.
Umbral shards.
Umbral shards. Is the number, I saw the initial math on the number, it was like 7,500 to get.
Yeah, you need some kind of crazy number.
Crazy number. Is you spent some time in the PTR, so I'm going to ask you, is that correct? And it's, at a top end mutator, are you getting, I think I heard you're getting like 6,000 in a top end mutator.
You're going to get, yeah, I didn't actually look. I only ran like a couple, right? Just because I don't want to like spoil that kind of content for me. I'm never a huge PTR person, but I will say the math is there about what I think what we figured was the best strat you're going to go for is like get everything like 610 or something, and then start pumping one thing at a time.
One thing.
It's because like the amount of shards you're going to need to get everything to like, I forget the exact number. I'll figure it out eventually, but like 610, it's insane. Like it's going to hit that point where it's like, okay, I could upgrade everything and then upgrade one thing one time, you know, like that balance. But I think just start generally upgrading gear, see where you're at, but it is going to be an insane amount. And I think the big thing is that they're going to allow us to get 2 keys a week. And I don't know how I feel about, you know, this is just tuning orb stuff, but you can craft one and you can buy one for faction tokens a week.
Artificial time gates.
I wish they would just let us buy them all the time. If you have those 10,000 faction tokens, but again, that's totally up to them. I don't know. I'd like to see some tuning orb changes though. Okay. I think as far as mutators go.
All right, guys, that is the January update. We're looking in about a week and a half or so for it to come out, and it's exciting times in New World, so get ready, everyone. Last point I wanted to cover today was the winter event, the winter convergence. Lamoni, did you kill some Yetis?
I did. I did the whole quest line.
Did you? What did you think of the winter event? Because you played WoW, you know how those go. How did they hit on their first one? Listen,
I think for a very first holiday event, like it's pretty solid, right? You got some cosmetics in there. You have some interesting things. We have our cool decorations and stuff. I think Gleamite was super cool. Like watching Gleamite meteor come out.
It was so good.
I hope they keep that kind of thing in the game, but I just think, you know, it wasn't like the most diverse and interesting thing, but I think for a first go of a holiday event, it's in a solid spot.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to, the Gleamite was the highlight for me. Like seeing that first one drop, it was just like, whoa. And the sound effect it made. The sound design team on this game is top class all the way, man. They're so good. I did sort of get tired of it. Like I did it hard for the first couple weeks, and then I was just like, I'm not going over there to get those presents. Like I'm just not doing it.
No, I'm kind of, I think that's part of like, you know, they extended it. I was like streaming when somebody was like, they extended it. It's like, I mean, I kind of forgot it was there.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm used to all the snow and everything. It's going to be weird with all the snow and everything gone. But, you know, I'm just sitting on my tokens, and on the last day, I'm just going to buy a bunch of food.
Yeah. That was the next question I had for you is like, I made sure to get all the skins first, get all the decorations and stuff. And then I'm just sitting on tokens at this point. I did get some of the patterns, because I'm 200 Arcana, and I think I'm going to be doing some crafting there.
Okay.
So I'm excited to do some ice gauntlets and some void gauntlets and
I think that's definitely another one. But something else, I think, if you're looking to make gold, so either one, buy those 33 foods. Like that's just a free gold maker. But somebody else kind of tipped me off on something. You can buy the tower shields, and then you can salvage them, and you get like it's somewhere between 3 to 5 Orichalcum ingots, and then depending on the price, like
whoa,
you can. It's at least 3, right? I know that. So it's like if you want to kind of dig into it, I think it's like 2 premium tokens.
That's your hot. That's your hot tip right there, man.
That's my hot tip. Yeah, it's either buy the food, right? Because eventually we're gonna hit this point where there's no food in circulation. It'll keep going up, and it's in between the tier 4 and tier 5 foods.
Yeah.
But and I'll probably stock up on some of that. But I think any extra ones you have, you could do something like that, because warrior ingots are always going, and they're always going to keep going. I don't know what they're at on your server, but they're like 35 gold a piece on mine right now.
So I haven't checked El Dorado. They were at 31, 32 ish for me.
So it's like 100 gold, you know. Yeah. So take your poison. You could probably make more buying like melee wraps or something and saving them for a while or using them. I know I'll probably use a bunch of mine.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, Lamani, I want to thank you so much for coming out and spending some time with me. This was great. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to doing it again with you next week. Lamani, any shout outs, any parting thoughts before we get up on out of here?
Not that I can think of right now. Maybe next week. We'll wait until next week to do some shout outs. But I appreciate you having me here. I'm excited to keep doing this.
All right, everybody. I appreciate you coming out. We'll see you next week on the New World Report. Night, everyone.
Good night. Beautiful.